Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome back to the Dominion server, and this is episode 11. Now, it has been quite a few months since the last video, and to be honest, I've not really done a huge amount in between. In terms of projects and builds, progress has pretty much stalled since the last episode. But luckily, I have some big plans to try and get the main island base back moving again, so we can actually see if we can get it eventually completed, because at the moment it's still a big work in progress. And in case you hadn't noticed, I have changed my clothes. I am no longer bound to diamond armor, but instead I have decided to get an upgrade and get some shiny netherite armor, which is brilliant because I've been wanting that for ages. And I've also added the emerald trim as well, which I think looks really cool. So in today's episode I have some plans, and it's dark at the moment, but never mind. I have some plans for the northern parts of my island to try and actually get some progress made there, with the cliffs, because at the moment the cliffs kind of just stop very suddenly here. I want to try and finish this section of the island, get some more space on the top, so bring these cliffs out, get some land up there so I can potentially build a house or some kind of structure in the future, and yeah, see if I can get some of this area here finished, because it has been like this for probably about a year now, and that's not great really. Now, I have been working in creative, so essentially I've got a copy of this island. I've pasted it in the Dominion creative server, and I've been working on this area, just seeing if I can get some kind of basic structure to the island done, and then I can copy the schematic across and build it in survival. So that is what I'm going to try and do now. So I'm going to need a lot of stone for this project, because cliffs are made of stone, and stone is something which I do have quite a lot of, to be fair, because I have been mining quite a lot recently. Plus we did mine a lot for some of the farms we built in the earlier episodes. Yeah, stone detailing, trees, we can do that later. Ooh. Bring some stone and some dirt. Right. I think this would look pretty good in a time lapse, because there is quite a lot to build. So yeah, and it'll be good to get a before and after as well. So hopefully this will go okay, and it will make quite a bit of a difference to this area. And hopefully it should make things more easier when I try and expand the island more to the eastward sides as well, because that's going to be very tricky, especially as there's not much land there and it's mainly ocean. So to start to get this area here done, it provides more of a foundation for me to move on to that section. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the time lapse. look at this. This cliff is now much bigger and much further out than it was before. And if I show you what I've done at the base of the cliff, I have been working on this area, and essentially what this is going to be is a little stream. So the water will be coming up from a long way up there, but obviously that part's not built yet, and it'll come down here like a mountain stream, and follow down this little valley here, and then come out to the ocean here, and this will be the mouth of the river here. So I've been planning to have some stream here for a while now. It's just obviously I've not got around to building it, but yeah, so that's what that's going to be. And then we have the cliff extending very high up there, and then we have this overhang here where I've put some more leaves and vines. The glow berries I've put there just for a little bit of light because it looks quite dark. Lighting is something which I'm going to have to work on because this area inside here is still really dark. I've just put torches down at the moment, but obviously that's just a temporary measure. Then over here I've extended out this small peninsula a bit more to, and again very dramatic cliff here, which is what I'm trying to aim for with this island. It's not going to be the biggest island, but I want it to be very dramatic with its changes in height. And that's what's going to make this really interesting and a very rugged looking island. So yes, I'll need to add some leaves and decoration around this area as well. Here I can actually put sea lanterns, just hide them and then put like moss on top. And then I can get rid of these torches here. So that I need to work on. And also, if I show you the top, because we've created a lot more space now. Look at this. Now this space here is big enough to actually put a building, because I have no buildings apart from that little stone bunker down there. So what I want to do is get rid of that bunker because it's rubbish, it's awful, and it's meant to be temporary, but it's been existing for well over a year now. So I need to rectify that soon. So I can put some kind of structure here, and I'm thinking of maybe having my storage room here. I think that would be a cool video to actually showcase me making that storage room. And I can actually have more of a permanent solution to my chest monster at the moment. And I've also started curving this path around. So what the next steps is for this island is to have this path curve around here, and then it's going to climb even higher. I'm going to have to kind of dig this down a bit and then landscape it back up, and it's going to come up here. I'm going to cross up here, and then there's going to be another kind of flat-ish section up here where I could potentially have a few more buildings, but obviously all this stuff here will have to go. This is my temporary farming area, and I'm really liking how this island is looking from a distance as well and from the air. Yeah, this is looking good. The other thing I need to do actually is work on the little cliffs at the base of the kind of farming wheat area, because as you can see they're floating. I need to actually connect them to the seafloor, and the same around here. I want to slope up the floor, the seafloor here, so it can actually connect to the river, and so there's not this big jarring difference which there is at the moment. This is really starting to come together now. So what I've been doing is detailing this mountain stream a little bit. So we've got a couple of moss carpet blocks here and there. We have some drip leaves as well, and a couple of seagrass just here and there, just to add a bit of vegetation. So I'm going to carry it on further up here as well, where it's going to be like a waterfall, but that will require more of this mountain to be built. And I've also added a couple of clumps of sea pickles just so there's some light. This is something which I'm trying to do for a lot of the island, is to naturally spawn proof it. So I'll be using carpets, things like staircases. The moss carpets would be quite good, or using actual lighting, but I don't want to use torches, so the subtle lighting techniques like the pickles are quite useful for this. And then I've connected up basically the river bed to the actual sea floor here, and I've kind of added a bit of a gradient to make it look more natural, and I'm actually really liking how this looks. So the cliff now actually meets the sea floor, so this is looking pretty finished, and I must admit I'm really liking how this is. Just having a look at my project board, the stuff in orange is projects which I have started but have yet to finish, and the stuff in red is projects I've not even started. So I'm just having a look. I think I want to start continuing that path further along, which means I'll have to start digging up some of this dirt at the top and starting to plan a bit more for the mountains to go in there. That means if I set this to orange, I've already got a beacon up there, as you can see, the big pillar of light. So if I get some tools, and then I'll start to clear out some of this top area, and then I'll have a plan of how to build this top section of the cliff. And I think to do that I'll have to go into creative to get a good idea of what I'm going to be building. So here we are on Dominion's creative server, where I have essentially created a copy of the island, and this is where I've just been playing about, experimenting with how I'm going to expand and finish this island before I actually do it in survival. So this is obviously the newest part we've just built. So now I'm going to try and focus on this top section here, see if I can extend this path further, coming up here and then having some kind of mountain around here maybe, but we'll have to see. It's going to be quite a big project, but because we're in creative I can sort of get a plan of how to build this, and then possibly even make a schematic and then build it in survival through that schematic, which would be a lot easier than just trying to build it out of nowhere straight in survival. Okay, so I have been hard at work trying to work out what I'm going to do for this area, and it has been quite difficult to even come up with this. So essentially what I've done is I've connected the mountain stream, which comes all the way down here. I've gone and connected this up to that area at the top, so it's like a massive waterfall, essentially an underground waterfall. So it comes all the way up here, and there's that little entrance here, and then I've got this, it's not really a lake or even a pond, it's just a still area of the river, which I thought would be quite cool to have something where the stream is kind of still enough that I could do something interesting with it in terms of decoration. And I've also got the water a couple of blocks deep as well, and I've also planted, I've just been experimenting with planting some drip leaves here and there, and I actually really like how it's turned out. It's almost like a little overgrown swampy area. And then I've also extended the path. This was a bit of a nightmare because I wanted to make it quite steep because I want to gain more altitude very quickly, so I got more cliffs essentially, but I was trying to do it with a mixture of slabs and stairs and it just looked really weird. So what I've done is I've got like a staircase and then a small section here where it's only a couple of slabs just to break things up a little bit, and then another staircase here, and then I've got a flat area up here where it actually crosses this ravine stream area. All in all, I don't think it looks too bad actually. I'm just trying to see from a distance as well how this will look. It does look a bit weird, but I've tried to break up the how quickly it rises here, but then here it looks kind of steep and then quite flat and then steep again, which just looks a bit odd. However, I think with the cliffs behind the path and a more gentle slope up, I think that'll look okay. I think this is certainly what I want to aim for with the actual build on survival. Yeah, so if I just try and experiment a little bit with this cliff area, if I try and just line this path with a rough outline of the cliff and see what that looks like. I'm not really going to have any grass along this side or vegetation. This path is literally kind of chiseled out of the rock itself, so it's literally straight next to this cliff. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So I've just gone and put some sort of a very small cliff in. It kind of breaks up the unevenness of the path, makes it look a bit better, I think. So I think I want to start to progress this section as well on the island, and then when I get this section built in survival, then I think the next thing I want to focus on is either a storage room or some kind of house on this flat area here, because I think that would be quite good to get a proper permanent building built for my base now as well, and then I can start to move everything from the stone box over there. So I think what I'm going to do now is start to build this in survival, and I will also add some detailing to this section of grass along here, which I started to do further down the slope. I'll just carry that on all the way up, and then I'll just leave this bit here for the build which I'm going to put there. I am so glad I've got a beacon on this island, otherwise this would take so much longer. So there it is, in survival. I've now gone and built that extra part with the stream and carried on the path a little bit further, and yeah, I really like how this is now actually really starting to come together, certainly from a distance. Like if I view it from one of the neighbouring islands, and get, oh, I just made that, I have quite a good view over how this is looking. To actually see progress being made finally on this base after quite a long time is yeah, pretty amazing, and hopefully I'll be able to continue with building up this island pretty quickly now that I'm starting to get into the flow of things again. I think I will leave it there for this video. Very happy with the progress that has been made, and yeah, next episode I think I will want to concentrate on that building on the top of that cliff and see if we can get something designed and built on my island by the end of next episode, I think, which would be pretty cool. And I'll be able to move some items in there and start to move out of my disgusting nuclear bunker, which is unfortunately still down there, but hopefully not for much longer. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did like it, please make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more content like this on this channel, please remember to subscribe. So until I see you again, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.